Hi, welcome back. Glad to see you here. Today we're going to be talking about this idea around identity. And one of the most common identifiers that I relate to is being a jack of all trades. Now, you may have seen this portrayed in many ways, but the most common one that I really resonate with, lately at least, is the fig tree. I think it's a fig tree, where you see a branch and I guess another branch and a stem, and it's going all these different directions, and each budding fig is a different identity of who you could have been or who you want to be, but they're so divergent that you can't be them all. That's the narrative. Or some people have put it as like dirty dishes, and all the different mugs are what you can be, or what you could have been. It's often made by people, from my observation, that seem relegated to a specific identity. And as I meditate on that and reflect on it, considering I am a jack of all trades, right? I guess to list them, I have had time, I don't know how to say it, but I've spent time in these areas, in science and biology and humanities. I've done carpentry, I've done painting, photography, videography, poetry, public speaking. I used to love astronomy. I would spend time mapping out the stars and knowing where astronomy, there you go. Stars and planets, and let me find out there's a meteor shower. I'm up 1 a.m. Let's go find an empty field. Oh shoot, it's cloudy. That was me. And what else was I doing out here in this world? Chemistry was cool back in the day, doing those experiments. Acting, singing, a lot of performance things. What else? Fitness. Yes, I played almost every popular sport: basketball, football, soccer, tennis, volleyball. I'm missing something. Is ultimate frisbee a sport? I don't know. I played that too for a while. Life was a charcuterie board. And I thank God, not everybody has had the ability to, sample all these things. I'm sure there's more, but I'm not going to get caught up on that right now. But what I'm facing like at this moment, as I'm considering how to spend my life, is I am a very diverse being with finite time. And I'm sure that other people have felt this too. How can I make space in my life for all of my interests? How can I be a jack of all trades? And one of the most, this is silly, maybe, but it helps me. When I peruse around all the things that I've done in this life, all the things that I have had history or experience or interest in, some of the stuff I want to resume, I realize something. I don't like everything. I really enjoy metalworking, right? I enjoy sculpting and all this stuff. There are certain facets of everything that I've done, or the all trades, that I enjoy, and there's certain facets that I don't. To be even more pointed with it, in the language, because I'm big on language, we say jack of all trades. And in us using that phrase, we can subconsciously feel committed to all trades, to this unnamed diversity of self. When we do that, it becomes chasing the wind. That's what it feels like. How can I grab the sky and put it into my 16 hours of living a day? Because I hope you're getting enough sleep. 8 hours of sleep. Go to bed. Yeah, you don't like everything. You don't enjoy everything. Not everything gives you life. And one thing I found out is yeah, I can do something I'm skilled at. I can have an enjoyment of a process and not the identity. I can talk natural medicine. We're going to figure out what herb you need. We're going to figure out what system in your body may be imbalanced. But I don't want to be a doctor of neuropathology, naturopathology. Yeah, naturopath, not neuro. Excuse me. Naturopathology. I don't want to be a doctor in that. I have no interest in the identity, even though the processes I enjoy. I don't have to make it a career. I don't even have to make it a mainstay. But I do know when I feel a little tickle in my throat, I'm grabbing some elderberry and some hibiscus. Right? It is a part of my tree. Going back to that fig analogy, all of those figs are attached at the branches and at the trunk. But when we focus on the fruit only and not the process that grows us from our, I mean, we could say seed, but from our roots all the way up to our fruits, or from our trunk to our fruits, we relegate ourselves to identities that are stand alone-ish. I'm gonna say that differently because that was a rough sentence. We force ourselves to fit into frames without taking into, that's still poetic, hold on. I want to say it normal. When we only look at the fruit and we don't consider the trunk that all of the fruit comes from, we force ourselves into a role or an identity, thinking that that one thing has to make all of us. I hope that made sense. As I talk, it might continue to make sense. So, you have interests. You have the skill and ability to do many trades, a jack of many trades. Right there should be some relief between all and many, because all, I don't have to be responsible for all. It's almost like the I'm every woman song. That whole notion that this superwoman exists that can be all things. Yes, it's beautiful in the sense of empowerment, but realize that when we push ourselves beyond our capacity, everything becomes a burden. You know, if you think that you can do it all by yourself, so you spend your life chasing it all, trying to embody that, you're going to find your limitations, and then that's going to be a shame issue, and we don't like shame over here. Why wasn't I good enough to do this perfectly? Why do I have executive dysfunction? All of these things, you know, I'm encouraging a healthy humanity here. That's what I like to see. But I don't want anybody to feel limited by the excess. Limited by the excess. Thinking again, I have to grab the sky, the entire sky, and find a way to fit it into my life. No, let the sky be the sky, the earth be the earth, let you be you. So what am I saying here? Jack of some trades. My favorite trades. Jack of my favorite trades. I tell people I'm a retired jack of all trades, because for me, yeah, I could do some electric work, some wiring, sound design. I could do AV for you. Do I like that? No. Does it give me life? No. Could I do it for a quick check? Sure I could. But who am I? What is my trunk? You're caught up in my branches, you're caught up in my fruit. What is my trunk? Who am I as a person? Before we get into the distinctions of what I can do and the identities that flock to that. That, you know, I'm gonna say it in another episode, but we've really forgotten what human means and what being a human is. And anytime we build our life off of secondary identities or tertiary identities, I was trying a difficult word there, tertiary. When we build it off of those identities, we get lost. We cut the trunk and we live from the branches. We're not meant to be cuttings. We're meant to be grafted or rooted or a part of something more than what we practice. What we practice reveals what's in us, but it doesn't dictate. It can't dictate. Fruit is an outcome of a well-nurtured tree. So, in your journey of self-discovery, how much of that tree nurture is happening? How much of that is happening so that you can actually live into your many fruits? So going back to me, because I use myself as an example, because I know myself and I'm the only one here. But I like nature. I can tell you the sounds of all the birds around me and the bugs and half of these plants out here. Yeah. And I have to ask myself, do I want a career in that? Is that what I want next to my name? Do I want to spend my time in nature? Those are 3 different questions, mind you. Career, time. Shoot, I forgot it. But you didn't. I just said it. So you didn't forget it, I hope. But 3 different questions. Those are distinct questions coming from different places. I love spending my time in nature. Absolutely. Where am I right now? Yeah, nature. Do I want a career in nature? No, I don't. Why? Because it's dirty. I need a break from it every once in a while. It would exhaust my soul. That's like cooking. Cooking for me is an art. I love exploring the kitchen and seasonings and meals and all that stuff. Is that a career for me? No. The life that it gives me would be crushed by the demands of the career. These trades, these areas of interest go into one category where they are rejuvenating, but they're not the work I was crafted for. Okay, very good. I enjoy debating. Proper debates, not arguments, by the way. Debating. And usually I will debate for the cause of a culture or people group that may be oppressed or may be misrepresented. Is that life-giving? Yeah, it's kind of. It's also life-draining if you're talking to the wrong person. I recently talked to some people around like the topics of feminism and masculinity and all that stuff, and we may get into that. But we disagreed fundamentally and had a great time doing it. I enjoyed that. And we did not reach a common point, but because of the people I'm talking to, it was wonderful in the ways that we presented and listened to ideas. We acknowledged the dignity there. That's great. Am I going to do that? First category, am I going to do that to rejuvenate myself? No, by no means. I need to be able to take a nap. But do I find that to be something that I can jump into that fills a cup? Even as I'm pouring out, that fills something in me that says, I'm doing the work I was crafted for. Yeah, I mean, I can see me doing that often. And it's not just to talk, but it's to open up people's eyes and mindsets and perspectives to worlds and places they've never seen and people they've never spoken to, so that there could be the acknowledgement of the human being. Stuff like that. That's also like the teaching category. I tend to teach often, but not academia. I'm trying to find the proper words for it. I think it's like anthropology, sociology, philosophy-esque. I really want to talk about what does it mean to be human and the flourishing of the human being in all of its facets. So whatever that's called, thank you for helping me out. But I could definitely see that being the work that my soul was crafted for. Yes, it is work, but it's good work. And if you found your lane, you know what I mean when I say it's good work. Like, your soul is satisfied by it. Yeah. And then the whole career thing. I kind of put those in 2 different categories because, career, you're building up a way to supply for your needs versus what that supply is going towards, the resources going towards in terms of the mission or the call or whatever you feel or know to be your purpose in this life, right? Those could be 2 different things. Sometimes they're the same thing, they're different. I'm still figuring out that career category, to be honest. But again, the same line of questioning. Okay, this facet, these spaces, these trades, are these things that I can just find myself in? Am I more, insert your name, when I do these things? Or am I less, insert your name, less of myself when I do these things? I know what careers don't fit me. I've done sales. Man, I was good at sales. Why? Because I'm a storyteller. I'll tell a good story. And, somebody will purchase something. I'm not here to manipulate nobody, but I'll tell you why it works, why it doesn't work. If this is for you, you go ahead and make the decision. If not, keep it moving, because I don't want to waste your time, but I wouldn't waste my time if I didn't believe in this product. You can hear the conversation. Is that a career for me? No. No, it's not. It's something I'm skilled in, yes, but I would prefer to use my storytelling skills to talk about things that matter to my essence, to my being. Making employee of the month on the sales floor doesn't matter to me. It might matter to you, which then hey, that's a career path, but it doesn't matter to me. And however else you want to, navigate it. But there's lines of questioning. There's ways that we can approach our multiplicity. But when I tell you, when you begin to respond not just to how you feel, because this sounds like a feelings-based conversation of, well, how does this make me feel? No. How does your essence respond to the things that you do? Your soul, your spirit. For me, sitting on the phone all day, scrolling, bed rotting, my soul hates that. Hates it. I do it still, because the mind, hey, I'm trying to get out of it, get that screen time down, But my soul hates it. What does my soul prefer to do? I prefer to speak life into other people. I prefer to fellowship and be around like-minded individuals. I prefer to tell stories, craft stories, do some videography, some short film or whatever it is, create something, solve a problem. Engaging with life in these ways brings my soul more life. I can feel it like oxygen in the air. You don't have to be a jack of all trades. You don't have to fear losing yourself by picking something. Because when you're choosing based on being informed of the person that you are, every step towards specificity is a step towards yourself and how God made you to be. And I've been finding freedom in that. To say, hey, you know what? My 3 pillars that I've discovered so far: ministry, the arts, and justice. That's what I care about. We could talk about that anytime. I can engage with that anytime. Yes, I'll do some carpentry. I like working with my hands. It kind of feels like an art. Yes, I may not cook for you. I'm so sorry to everybody who's ever asked for a plate. It just, one day. But I'm quicker to fix something in your house than I am to cook for you. I don't know what's up with that. But yeah, be informed by the backdrop of you. So let's go back to that tree again. If I know the tree trunk, if I know what type of plant is growing, if I know the essences of what I am, the experiences that I have as I branch out inform me, I can do the editing. I can do these things. I have all these trades under my belt. But which ones give me life and which ones are branches to be pruned? Prune for more fruit. What do you care about growing? When you go to the end of your life and you say, is this what I want next to my name? Is this what I want my legacy to be on? Is this a full life? You know what's not a full life to me that I'm really good at? Video games. I said, you know what? Beating Bowser one more time isn't going to make me more fulfilled. Catching the rarest creature or defeating the boss or unlocking the sigils and runes for Kratos' axes, it's fleeting. is fleeting and there's no life in it. Not for me. Somebody else, hey, cool, go off. But for me, I'm good at it. I put hours, days, years into video games. It has added nothing to my life. I'm good at it. It could be a trade. They say, Jaden, why don't you be a streamer? Because it doesn't give me life. It's not one of the trades that I want to bear more fruit in. So in choosing myself more, I cut off something that I'm skilled in to something that I truly, truly value. That I want to eat the fruit of that, whatever it is that's growing. And I believe as we lean into that type of navigation, with the Holy Spirit's help, of course, we're going to live fuller lives. We're not going to feel a loss at the identities. Again, because identities based on practices out here aren't our initial definers. How and who God made you to be from here, as you branch out and discover it, and as those discoveries affirm or deny what you find in here, those inform us of ourselves and inform us of how God designed us to be. And I hope you find freedom in that. I know I am. It's weird because for the first time in my life, I'm truly leaning into these areas to say, yeah, a little more of this area that is new and I may not feel as experienced in. A little more of this over here, It's unfamiliar, but it is me. I find myself there. I'm not lost. I don't dissipate. I find myself there. And that makes all the difference. So, I'm a retired jack of all trades. I choose my trades based on who I am, based on what God has put in me, and based on what gives me life. And I hope if that resonates with you, please go and do likewise. Do the same. So yeah, I hope that you have a great rest of the day. Leave a comment, follow if this resonates with you. Tell me what your trades are. Tell me what your pillars are. Tell me something. Love to learn about you all. All right. Grace and peace. I will talk to you all later.